Hi, it's July 16th. Welcome back to Surviving the Untold, uh, When Silence Hurts, but it's the second part.
So, before we get started, we would like to apologize for our inconsistency of our show. Our plan was to originally produce 3 episodes a week, and somehow, some way, we got lost. We appreciate you still showing up for us, and we will attempt to, going forward, do the same for you. As our podcast deals with mental health issues, which sometimes addresses triggering content, we'd like to take the time to remind you of our trigger warning. We discuss lots of sensitive subjects that may not be suitable for everyone. If you are affected by any of these topics, please don't hesitate to reach out to someone for help. You may notice that this episode looks different than the others. There are now only two of us, Busy and me. Busy, would you like to give your take on?
Um, you can go first.
So this is a really important project to me, and I feel like if we're going to do something that we should do it all the way. And it was really hard to come up with a schedule where all three of us were sitting down and being here for what we need to be here for. It seemed like we were always waiting for somebody or something to happen. This way, we are more aligned on schedules, so we're able to just sit down and do it easier.
Yep. Um, it was just the inconsistency bit. Like, it was always, oh, we're gonna do it today. And then it never happens. Um, but both of us are more, I guess, schedule oriented. Not even that, just like routine ish.
We thought about not addressing it um, and just kind of starting over, but we think that this is a part of what mental health looks like. It's part of surviving the untold. A lot of people don't see what happens behind doors. Um, for us, it looks like depending on someone and then feeling let down when that doesn't happen. And then having to either give up totally on what you want to do or restructure. And so for us, we chose to continue to restructure and proceed with our mental health by doing the things that we thought were important and we needed to do. Um, there's lots of times that we feel like people don't show up for us the way we need them to. And so we become hyper independent. And I think this is a sign of what that looks like. So last podcast, we addressed personal understandings and recognizing the signs of suicide or self-harm. In tonight's podcast, we will continue that conversation. So, dealing with self-harm and suicide, what should someone do if they are worried about a loved one?
Um, well, there's there's not one good way to approach like a situation like that. It's you I don't know how to put words. Harley bro, stop. Um, that's a wrap, folks. Come back to me. Phone a friend here.
So for me, I think the most obvious answer, and I say obvious because it's the one I feel like doesn't happen the most, and it's talk to them, show up for them. I think I talked about in the last episode that sometimes that doesn't look like talking, that looks like just being in the same room as someone so that they know they have somebody there. Not all of us are equipped to have conversations when we're in that mindset. Um, but it's nice to know that we have someone in our corner that we could turn to should the situation become worse or should it become bigger than we can handle. For me, I know I have a few trusted friends that if I do any sort of thing that seems off, they're going to reach out to me more often than they would because they recognize the signs of something happening.
Yeah, I mean, it's really one of the only ways to consistently help is to just be there. and be willing to help in whatever way is needed, not just, you know, talking about it or like all of the general things, but just having someone to be there and sit in a room with you or get you out of the house for like a few hours or just someone that you can trust to be around when you're in that bad mindset. Um,
I think the key is what Biz just said is someone that you can trust. It's not just having anybody around. It's the, hey, I need to go for a walk, and knowing that the person who's going to walk with you is going to be able to keep you safe while still giving you the space you need to process what you're processing. It's days like today where I wake up and I'm like, I need a coffee. It wasn't a bad day. I just needed a coffee. Uh, and the place that I wanted to go to wasn't around here. So I reached out and I was like, hey, can we go to breakfast? That didn't happen. Um, and there wasn't anything wrong with not going to breakfast. That wasn't an issue. I'm not the best at communicating when I really need something in a very direct way. And so it was Biz and I being like, so we're hungry. We should go food. And while I'm sure Viz would have fooded just fine if I'm like, I'm making this, it was, we're going out, get dressed. Because that's what I needed. I needed to not sit stagnant in the same spot. So it's recognizing that, again, it's the smallest of things that you're like, okay, this person needs extra support today.
yeah. I mean, I was kind of upset that we didn't go get breakfast because the way it was handled.
You were asleep.
I know.
You didn't even know about it until afterwards.
I know. I was upset about not getting breakfast, but I didn't care that much until you told me, like, the process. Nova, bro.
I also think if you are worried about a loved one, bring by a pet. And that sounds ridiculous because, well, if they don't have pets, they probably don't want pets. I don't say it to inundate them with things they don't like, but I say it because I know our dogs are really in tune when like one of us is not feeling the best. The girls are quick to be like, nope, you need my extra loving. And no matter how much we push them away, they're like, nope, we're going to love you. It's like a sixth sense that pets have, or they know that you need it. So I would say that that's also helpful. What responses would you say are helpful?
All situation, person dependent.
For me, it's honesty. I don't expect you to have all the right answers, but I don't lie to me.
Yeah.
Don't sit by me and be like, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah, that's the wrong thing to say. It's just saying it's gonna be okay is like no one believes what you're saying, not even you, and there's no reason to say it.
Well, also, what happens when you say it's gonna be okay and it doesn't end up okay? So then what do you do? Like, how do you cycle back from that? Because at that point, I can't trust you because you told me it was going to be okay. I believed you when you said that, and then it wasn't. Versus like, hey, this is a really shitty situation. I could acknowledge it's a really shitty situation. There's not much I could do about it other than be here for you. That's honest. Telling me anything else outside that scope of we can solve it, if it's a solvable problem, yeah. So like, I remember when Viz first got here and we were worried about him having to leave and what that looked like. And it was like, okay, well, I wasn't as worried as Viz was, but Viz was obviously concerned. And Viz straight up said like, I recognize that you're not worried about it, but this is my life and I have no control over it. And it wasn't an argument. It was just that's his valid feelings. And while in my head, I can think there's different ways in the legal system that I know I can handle it, at the end of the day, there's no way I can guarantee the outcome of that. And so telling him like, oh, it's going to be fine, it's going to be okay, while it turned out thus far that he's still here, it was fine, there's no way of knowing that. And so you're making these false, empty promises that go nowhere and that actually cause more harm than good.
Yeah. that specific situation, I've had a lot of foster homes tell me, oh, it'll be okay, you're not gonna end up leaving, and then I do every single time. So hearing those words from someone after multiple people before that person have said it and it not been true,
Trigger in its own right.
yeah.
Um, so for me, it's one of those unintentionally bad responses. Like, that's the quickest way to make me feel alone is for you to say the things that are triggering to me. Um, the unfortunate part is that sometimes we don't know things are triggers until they happen. So I have had friends who have made jokes, just like, "Oh my gosh, Vince, you're so psycho," but to me, and for me, that's almost an instant trigger. Why? Because psycho is just a word. Because my mom used to constantly tell me that I was psycho. It was that, oh, you do this because you're psycho. You do that because you're psycho. And it was just always heard as an insult. So the minute someone calls me psycho, sends me off. It could be a joke to one person. If you told me I was a bitch, I'd laugh that off all day long. If you told me I was crazy, wouldn't have the effect on me. It's that one word because of the connection that it has.
Yeah. I mean, there's also the whole it's not what you said, it's how you said it type bit. Because, like, again, there's a huge difference between, oh, do you want to go do something? Oh, yeah, sure. And, oh, sure, is kind of a consistent problem.
I was watching a TikTok today. I don't know if I sent it to you or not, but like in the TikTok, it was oh, we're going rock climbing. Do you want to? Do you want to go? And the guy responds, well, do you want me to go? Well, only if you want to go. But do you want me to go? Well, only if you want to go. No. Telling me you want me to go says you want my presence and my personality there. Saying you want to, if you want to, means I'm just six-willing it. I don't want to be just added on because, well, I mentioned it in front of you. Tell me you want me there. Like, I think in mental health, words become more of a nuance than with anything else. The way you say something has a huge effect on the person you're saying it to. And so I think for that reason we get labeled as really difficult because I have to change everything for you. It's not so much changing things for us, but we're very literal because that word means that.
Yes. I'm sorry. I am listening. Ivy texted me and they haven't texted me. Yeah.
So what conversations would you say that we've avoided in our households about mental health?
Um, the effect that things in the environment have on everyone's mental health
I would agree with
and
that.
how to fix them.
I would go as far as to say that it's not tiptoes the right word, but it's in that landfill of that where certain things don't get discussed with certain people because of the mental triggers it would cause. And it's not so much that I'm afraid to say, like, hey, mentally today, I'm just not in the headspace to deal with that. It's that the response to that is going to make it worse. And so I will avoid questions today like, hey, I just wanted the company. I wanted my coffee, but I really wanted the company when I invited them out. And I did, for me, that was obvious in the way that I did it. Because usually it's hey, let's go get food. And I didn't do that. It was, hey, can you take me to go get food? I wanted you there. That's why I invited you to take me. So the response is just like, tomorrow. And again, it's not that it had to be today. And I even told him, like, I'm not going to be angry even if you say no. And I'm not angry that he said no. It's not an anger thing. It's the whole not recognizing the signs. And yes, I probably could have said, like, no, for my mental health, like, I really need to get out of the house. And I just really want your company. And I didn't do that. So I can take accountability for that. But still, it's how do you tell somebody that the reason you want to go to breakfast is because if you stay in the house for another day, you're going to rip your hair out? That seems dramatic to people who don't struggle. I know that seems dramatic to him because it's just that you want to go out and spend money. No, I just need to get out of the house. Well, there's 3 things to do. It's also like 100 degrees outside, and
Right.
I'm allergic to water. Liz, I'm allergic.
Lordy Lord.
And so for me, like, it's a having to, how do you navigate that? And so there's also the air of, there are things that we want and things that we need. Sometimes they overlap, sometimes they don't. And when you discuss that with the person who seems very nonchalant about it, it becomes a really difficult conversation. And I think for us, I wouldn't say we avoid them in general. I think Biz and I had a lot of those conversations. We avoid them with my husband.
Hello. Hello, Nova. You're not a lapdog.
So, what could families do to start doing things differently?
Ugh. Jesus, Nova. Sorry.
Nova's ready to play. So is Harley. They're getting ready to pounce.
Excuse the background noise of that.
I told you she was getting ready to pounce.
Repeat the question.
What could families do differently starting today? Besides get a new dog.
Communicate more about your boundaries, not just like physical boundaries, but emotional and intellectual boundaries.
I agree. I also would say that, or I'm going to reiterate the same thing I said in the last episode, that when people come to you, you can't take offense instantly. So it can't be, oh, you guys just say this. Oh, you guys just think that. Sometimes you get to grin and bear it even when you don't like hearing it. As long as it's not done disrespectfully or in a rude way. Perfect example for me was yesterday. We were talking about bleeding vaginas. And we were talking about how vaginas bleed when you're in the shower, taking a shower, or when you're having sex with someone in the shower, and how you bleed. And 2 of the 3 of us were of the mindset of, like, you shouldn't just be leaking. If you're leaking during sex on your period in the shower, that is not typical.
Yeah.
We're going to say normal. We're going to say it's not typical.
It's not typical. Also, even if you're not in the shower, it's okay. The blood should not be that thin and that much, like, all at once to, like, get out of there. Especially if you're in water of any kind. If you're bleeding like that much that it's leaking everywhere while you're in water, something is wrong.
Medical attention, please.
Seek medical attention. But he said,
he felt like, not the authority, but he felt like
he was entitled.
Yes. Okay, so I don't want to say he was entitled to his opinion, because obviously he is. But it was well, I've had sex with girls before in the shower, and I know that's how that works. And we're like, great, we have vaginas. So that should kind of trump.
Yeah, because he said, oh yeah, but it's messy because it's leaking down. And I was like, that's not normal. And he was like, well, I've had sex with girls on their period in the shower multiple times. And I was like, what? He's like, well, I'm pretty sure. I said, I'm pretty sure because I have a uterus. He was like, well, my experiences aren't my experiences.
He got really upset because he said that we were invalidating his experiences. And I feel like that goes into that very slippery slope of, you're not allowed to have abortions. It's not your body. Like, it's interesting because in that conversation, he's very much a woman's body, woman's choice. I don't get to speak on that because I don't know what that's like. Right. You don't know what it's like to bleed out of your vagina. Therefore, just because you've been inside one and you came out of one doesn't mean you know what's going on there.
Yeah, no. Like, well, I'm pretty sure. You're okay.
you're pretty sure we experience it monthly. So, I
Like,
mean,
bro, I sometimes whenever people say stupid shit about women's bodies and they're not women or, that have the anatomy, I really just want to like find a magic spell to put them into a woman's body that has horrible period cramps and horrible heavy flow and
well,
just leave them there.
it's you almost want to get down on their level to be that condescending, where you're like, oh, you've put gas in the car? Clearly you're a mechanic. Tell me how it all works. Wait, you can't? Just because you put gas in it doesn't mean you know? Like, not the same thing.
Yeah, no. Um, I just, it's a whole thing.
So then what would you say on the flip side of that? What does support look like in everyday life?
Um, I mean, like, it looks different for everyone, but like, for me and you, it's the whole checking in on each other if, you know, you're in your room for too long in the middle of the day, or,
Checking to see if you're fisting.
Really? Anyway. 10 seconds flat. Anyways, like we sit out here on the couch and like don't talk to each other and just exist within our own spaces, but like if I'm struggling and I need to get out of the house, just like she needed to get out of the house today. It's that, even just making an effort to get like, yeah.
And I think that sometimes for people with mental illnesses, it looks like recognizing the unspoken things. So I would say that I was in a pretty good headspace yesterday. Viz seemed to be in a pretty good headspace yesterday, and it was like, we're having a sleepover in the living room. And there was no need behind it. There was no room for it. Just kind of a spontaneous, yeah, we'll sleep on the floor. And we did just that. And I think it's in those moments that you build those connections. Y'all okay?
Yep.
They're building that connection right now. That when you build those connections, you're more likely to get somebody to open up to you in their time of need. The two of you.
Go!
You started a fight.
Bro! Get out of here!
But anyways, that when you make that effort to build those relationships, it's easier to have those conversations. So I think that was another part of today. It was you don't get to be upset that a child doesn't talk to you or only gives you one word answers when it's you don't make the attempt to interact with them on a regular basis.
Like, Jamisha, no, but I swear to God. Jamisha and I talk on a daily basis, see each other, spend time with each other on a regular basis. He's always in his office, yelling at his computer. And then whenever he is out here, he's on his phone watching poker, or he's doing some random shit and just not talking to us. But when he does want conversation and I don't give him that, easy, comfortable conversation that I give him with Jamisha, it's like I'm in the wrong for that.
So I think that learning the people that you're with is extremely important. For me, quality time is extremely important to me. And quality time doesn't look like we all sat in the room and played on our phone. I don't want you to sit in the room and hang out on your phone with me. There are times that Diz and I do just that. And it's just kind of the two of us. I think, for me, I consider us just being in the room together, which is fine. And then there's times like last night where it was like, okay, well, I'm going to do beading while you work on this. And to me, that was quite like we were each working on our own craft of the sort, but we knew that we could talk to each other while we were doing it. You lose that when you're staring at your phone.
And even when we are in here just staring at our phones, we'll still be like, oh my God, what the fuck did I just find on TikTok, bro?
Or we'll put on a random movie. Kinsey for the win. If you haven't seen it.
10 seconds flat.
And a hypocrite to boot.
And a hypocrite to boot. Such a skinflint. And a prig. And a hypocrite to boot.
But I think that is... It's learning your people. My people like to sit in my office and just hang out with me. And will do so. Like, today I walked out of my office and I came back and he was just laid out. I was like, oh, you're still there. Yep. Okay. But I also have no issue going into his bedroom and be like, I'm in here. Why? Because I am. Sometimes I do cleaning in there. And he doesn't realize I'm cleaning. And it's fine.
No, I do. I just don't point it out to you or else you'll
I
stare
cleaned
at
while
me
you were
weirdly.
gone.
Thank you.
I found the spoon. I was laying on the rug, and I'm like, why is there a random spoon? And it had white stuff on it. I'm like, if we're gonna eat yogurt.
It's not that!
I've heard about the whole sock thing. I've never heard of the spoon.
It's
So
not that!
I picked up the spoon, and I'm like, usually I would say, like, hey, I went in your room and cleaned. I'm like, you know what, we're gonna just leave this one alone. So then I went and I put the spoon in the dishwasher, or cleaned it and I put it in the dishwasher. And then I'm like, oh, I'm washing towels. I should go see. And then I walked in there, I'm like, oh, there's a towel. And so then I went and grabbed the towel and put that in the wash machine. Yeah, I know. And I went and put that in the wash machine and was like, I'll just wash my hands afterwards. It's fine. And then I'm like, oh, that should be it. Nope, I should probably check the room one more time for dishes before I run the dishwasher. And sure enough, there's a cup sitting there. So I'm like, all right, I have...
Maybe don't do that next time.
Yeah, that's me. Sure. It was a towel and dishes. I didn't pick up anything else.
You went into my room while I was gone.
I did,
And
because you left your door open. That's how I saw it.
Okay.
So I went in there and I grabbed the dirty stuff and then I walked right out and closed your door.
Okay.
Oh, except for the whole painting bit.
Yeah. But, it's just... That's my safe space. And I prefer not to come back to things different.
You realize it was different?
No, I hadn't. All the time I've been in my room, I've been asleep.
Fair. I swear, that's all I touched was the spoon and the cup and the towel. I left everything else the way that you left it. And that was only because I was washing towels and the dishes. I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I won't wash stuff anymore.
Bro. Munch, munch, munch.
What has helped you
Sauces.
or others find hope during difficult seasons? Clearly not going in his room and washing his stuff for him.
Because I don't like people touching my stuff when I'm not there. I don't even like people touching my stuff when I am there.
Our stuff?
For legal reasons, I can't say what I was just about to say on this podcast. Anyway, whenever I have difficult times, I like to sit in my room and bed rot, and just not talk to anyone. So having someone notice that and then try and talk to me, I guess. It's just the concept of showing someone when you know that they're struggling that you are there for whatever they may need. I don't know.
For me, I will lock myself up in my house. And when I make plans with you, you will notice them change multiple times. It is helpful if you heavily suggest I stick to those plans. So it'll be like, oh, I have plans to come up to visit you and bring you this, that, and the other. For the longest time, it was with Lawrence, who I was making food for, and then it would be like, oh, I'll bring it up this day. Oh, I'll bring it up that day. And finally he was like, I'm running out of food, I don't have anything to eat. And that will just not let him starve. That'll kick me into gear of okay, I need to go. And then when I get out of the house, I'm fine. But if you let me sit in my funk, I can't promise you and I'll pull out of it.
Yep.
What message would you share with someone who feels alone today?
I don't know, man. It's okay to reach out for help in any, manner, whether it's to your family or friends or strangers online, I guess, for some reason. Don't do that. Um,
Or do, depending on the stranger you're reaching out to.
you know them, then yeah.
If you know them, they're not a stranger. 911 is a stranger.
That's...
And the suicide hotline, they're strangers.
Oh my god. Anyway, um, reaching out for help is okay, and it doesn't always have to be a direct, hey, I need help. It can just be, hey, I need to have someone around for me today, or hey, I need to get out of the house today.
I would say that it's okay to feel alone, um, but recognize that you aren't, that all the feelings that you're feeling have been felt by someone else. There is somebody out there who's going to understand exactly
Ow!
what you're feeling.
Go!
Um, talk to somebody, even if it's just to say, hey, I need you to just check in on me every once in a while. Do that for yourself. Um, I think that you'll find the more you're able to put yourself out there to get the help that you need in the way that you need it, the easier it is to heal. And I think that healing looks different for everybody. I think for me, healing looks like being able to do the things that I thought I wouldn't be able to do. So if you had told me that I would meet someone and fall in love, I would have told you no. I would have told you that I had no idea what love looked like. Um, I've been so hurt by those who were supposed to love me that I've kind of just written the idea of being left off. And so when someone shows up to me and shows up for me and they're consistent about it, I can say like, oh, that's what love is. The example that I use best is when you're walking and you stub your toe. That shit hurts instantly. Like it's painful. But you know that it's healed when you're walking around on it and you don't feel it anymore. It's not in your head of like, oh my god, that time I stubbed my toe, I can't walk again. It's yeah, that happened. I I'm still walking. My toe's still good, unless you broke your toe, and that would be horrible. Nope. That is the emotional spiral I can go down. We're not going to do that. But that's what healing looks like to me.
I don't think there's a specific look of healing. Everyone's healing looks different. Um, so for one person, it could be, um, not thinking about their trauma as much anymore. For another person, it could be, um, cutting out people that have traumatized them or making amends with those people. Um, but in general, I don't think there's one specific way to phrase what healing is, I guess.
Yeah. So then, what is it? What is one thing you wish people understood about emotional pain?
Um, well, people treat emotional pain sometimes like it doesn't exist because you can't see it, but your brain still processes it in the same way that it does physical pain. And it's not that emotional pain is just being sad or being angry. It can be something deeper than that, or, you know, words. I give up.
I wish people understood that emotional pain isn't linear. It hurts more one day than it hurts on another day. Some days it feels non existent. Some days it hits you like a ton of bricks. Just because I smiled today doesn't mean I wasn't sad. So I got a bit of news Tuesday that my sister has cancer. And during that conversation, I was very stoic, very strong. We laughed, we talked. I got off, I had stuff to do, I did it, and then randomly I started crying. And before the crying bit, Jason had walked by me and was asking what was going on. I was explaining to him like the things that had happened, and then I said like, "Oh yeah," and my sister um, was diagnosed with cancer, and he said, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'll be back later," and then walked off to go back to his room to play poker. And I'm sure for him it just looked like I was fine. Like, there wasn't anything to worry about. Um, I was still processing it all. I am an overthinker by birth. But when it comes down to emotions, I have to process them all. When my dog died, like I walked out there and I was just angry. I can do anger very, very well. And then it's later on that the sadness part hits and then I'm crying. So you have to understand that it doesn't always appear to be what you think it is. The person who is crying at you may not be sad. They may be angry. The person who's laughing at you or laughing while you're talking to them, it's just a response sometimes. Not everything matches up all the time the way that you want it to.
Yeah.
How can our family make it easier to ask for help?
Um, I mean, one side of our family has it, down, and the other side doesn't. In our specific family, I would say it's just the more consistent showing up and showing more emotion in a way. For other families, it could be like, honestly, just in general, the words. I can't do words today. I don't know what's wrong. Um, it's just the consistently showing that you're there and that you are willing to help and that you care.
I think for me, it is creating a space where everybody feels like they could say things without repercussion. And I think the perfect example of that is what happened in this conversation. For me, I was being nice by going in your room and picking up something. And he communicated, like, hey, this is why that's not okay for me. And I could have gotten really offended by that. Like, oh, well, it's my house, my room. And while I make the joke, like, it's our stuff, I can respect that he doesn't want me to go into his room when he's not here. That's not, I don't need to double down and say, like, oh, well, it's my house and I pay for the bills, therefore I should be able to walk in anytime. None of that's necessary. When it's like, respectfully, I can understand why that's your safe space and you don't want it to be interrupted. I can say that, hey, I understand that without making excuses. Well, yes, the only intent was to go grab the dishes and the towel. There's no reason why I couldn't have left them in there. They would have gotten picked up and put into the dishwasher at some point. So instead of getting offended by, like, oh my gosh, how dare you say that to me? No, I can understand that. I can apologize for my part in that. I didn't think about it that way when I was doing it. And that's okay. I want him to feel comfortable telling me when he doesn't like something, just as much as I can say, like, hey, I may not have liked your tone when you said it. I don't think he had a tone when he said it at all. That's just an example. I think he presented it quite well. I'd prefer you not do that. I don't want anyone in my room touching my things when I'm here or when I'm not here. Okay. And without me even asking for a reason, the reason is because it's my safe space. Nowhere in there did he say it's because I'm hiding something. Nowhere in there it was because he felt like I'm constantly invading his personal space. It was just hey, this is that reason. You have to be able to create spaces where your kids can tell you something bothers them and you don't get instantly offended by it. Because that shuts off conversations. And so for me, making it easier to talk is being able to listen, again, without taking it personally. I could have very easily taken that personally. Again, But with the whole, like, this is my house, these are my rules. And I think that even if I had said that, he would recognize I was joking. That's not who I am. But there are so many people who are stuck on those things. It's a fight that's not worth fighting. Yes, I pay the bills. Yes, this is my house. He lives here. That's his house too. Like, I don't I don't understand the separation of the two. I
I
grew up in a
bring in
household where it
money.
was what?
I bring in money.
I don't understand why parents do that. I grew up in a household where it was like, this is mine, this is mine, this is mine. I let you borrow it. Okay, but then what was the purpose of bringing kids into the world if the idea is that they don't get access to anything? They don't get to say, like, hey, I don't like that. I don't appreciate that. And again, I think there's a way to do it and there's a way not to do it. Last night, it was a, hey, I noticed you left your candy wrapper in my office. Can you pick it up when you get the chance? Okay. And then when he didn't remember, it was, hey, before I turn the light off, can you grab it? And it wasn't an argument or a fight. Like, he didn't take it as well, he didn't say he took it as me nagging. I think it was for him, oh, she reminded me to go do it. Went and did it, and that was the end of it. I could see that have gone completely different given other people.
Mm-hmm.
It's important to remember not everything is a slight against you. And sometimes we have tones, and I think people get caught up on that too. Like, well, it was the tone of your voice. Not that that's not important. It absolutely is important. I also think it takes a moment to recognize that there may be underlining things going on with that tone. For example, I'm not typically snappy, but the days that I am snappy, there's got to be a reason. She doesn't typically snap at me. That doesn't excuse my behavior, but there's understanding behind it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Viz does the same thing. Like, there are times he's like, bro, you're pissing me off. And I'm just like, whoa, where did that come from? And I'll come back later and be like, I was on my period. Well, bro.
That was one time.
You told me you were pissing me off twice. One of those times you were on your period.
Exactly.
The other time you were just being mean to me.
No, you were pissing me off.
Everything pisses you off.
Yeah.
It's rude. No matcha tea for you. Matcha lattes for you.
Foxy jump scare. Dive at you.
But again, it's knowing that not everything has to be do or die.
In a lot of toxic environments, especially within households, it's created because people in authority seem to think that everything is personal. Everything is a slight against them. And it's not. You were pissing me off.
Pissed off and pissed on.
That! I'm irritated.
I'm frustrated. That's my favorite F word.
Fuck you.
Oh no, I use fuck a lot. But frustrated is my favorite one to go to because it doesn't mean much. I'm frustrated. What the fuck does that mean?
I'm lightly angered.
I'm a sprinkle of angry. I'm gonna start saying that. This, I'm a sprinkle of angry. I need you to go clean your room, please. What the fuck do you mean a sprinkle of angry? With a dash of... Remember that time we thought we should sing at each other when we were upset? I didn't go very far.
It didn't.
So what is one promise that we can make to each other about after today's conversation?
Whoa. Factory reset, I apologize. What?
What is one promise we can make to each other after today's conversation?
To continue healthy communication.
To not take everything personal. Or if you do take it personally, because I think human nature, that you talk about it. So, like...
Recognize that if you feel like you're taking something personally, try and recognize if that is or isn't a cognitive distortion.
I take it personal when you tell me you're pissing me off.
Well, you are pissing me off.
I still take it personally. It's harsh.
You're pissing me off.
There's other ways to handle it.
I continuously tell you multiple times before I say you're pissing me off that you're pissing me off. Tell you multiple times. I give you warnings.
I'm coming to you calmly. I'll think you
I'm gonna bite you.
You probably will.
I probably will.
It's a kink I have. How did they go from pissing each other off to that? To live in our household it's a special kind of special. I wish that we could convey to you just how special our special is. There's no way we can explain it in the 45 minutes how special our special is.
I know you very well.
Hey. We slept together last night. We slept in the same room. Sleepover, guys. Same room on the floor. It's a living room. It's huge. And we all had clothes on. Well, nope, even the dogs. Because Nova looks fucking weird without her collar on.
She does. It's like, I was like, it can't be that bad. It's that bad.
Like, you take her collar off, her naked is just spooky.
It's not natural, bro.
But we love her. Some of us more than
Who's
others.
we?
You love her. Sprinkle of love. So, if someone is listening tonight, is struggling and believes they're completely alone, what would you want them to hear from us tonight?
Sorry.
I love it when a plan comes together.
You go first, bro.
I want you to hear... Same. I think that struggling and feeling like you're completely alone can happen in a room full of people. I feel like it could happen when you're having the best of days. Same. I feel the same. I want you to feel heard, or I want to feel heard. And for me, that looks like somebody else understanding that, no, same. I hear you. You're not alone. And if I can do anything to help ease any of that, please reach out to me.
Yeah. Feeling alone doesn't always have to be because, you don't have anyone. It's just a kind of disconnected feeling, I guess, most of the time. And sometimes it is because you have no one. But there's, I guess, there's people around you most of the time, and it's okay if that doesn't make you feel like you're not alone. It takes... Genuinely didn't hear you. Fuck you.
Oh, that sucks. What? I gave a shout out. Did you get it?
Anyway.
Sometimes you can be around people who fucking suck and feel alone because they're cuntsicles.
If you're in a situation where you feel alone,
don't stay for 4 hours.
Don't stay for 4 hours.
Tell them that your mom said no, and then watch them disintegrate. And act like a fucking child.
I handled the situation more maturely than she did, and she's what, like...
85.
Yeah.
Not that 85 is old, because some of these women are T for 85.
Because the rapper is wrinkled doesn't mean the candy's any bad.
Actually. Okay, we're back to grandmas again, huh? Where's Lawrence when I need him? Hi, Lawrence. Have you had your grandma today? You're not even going to explain that. I'm just let that one roll.
Yep. Oh god, what was I saying? Fuck. If you feel like you're alone, no matter if you really truly are alone or not, there... Is that so?
Stick your bullshit.
She chose to sit there.
Because you're in her spot. Find
My way of...
On the highway? one way or another. I'm gonna get you. What do you got in
One-
that room? What you got in that room?
In the world is in that room. What you got in that room?
A couple of cats, a couple of mice, a couple of rats, a couple of rats. Have some chicken.
Anyway, the way that great transition there. The way that I helped myself when I was feeling alone was to find a way to find comfort in being alone, which I know that's like so much easier said than done. But if you can find a way to be comfortable while being alone, like just having something to do by yourself, fuck was that face for?
Because there's things you could do alone by yourself. That was it. What is that on 30?
If you can find something to do when you're alone to make you feel slightly less disconnected from everything.
You're disconnected. It's probably a wise idea at that time.
Dear God. Like, people crochet or they watch TV, and having something to attach yourself to when you feel alone is... I'm just describing a coping skill right now, I guess, but...
Preferably a healthy one. Don't, attach yourself to pot. Well,
no.
Cocaine.
Yeah, cocaine.
Heroin. Fentanyl. Attach yourself to something like basket weaving. Or art. Bowling.
But if you find a way to not always feel so disconnected, it's a very difficult thing to do. It sounds stupid when I just say, find a way to feel comfortable. There's no way to ever fully feel comfortable in a situation that is naturally uncomfortable. But
picture everybody naked.
You can't heal in the environment that is actively hurting you. So...
Do I need to leave?
No, the other one does.
He says he doesn't want to stay in Fort Scott. If he leaves, then why are we leaving?
Get even farther from him. Anyway,
I kid.
I give up. I'm getting nowhere.
Well, that's all that we have for you all tonight.
I'm sorry I can't do English correctly today. I don't know what's up. My brain is not it. I can't think brain blast right now.
What was all of that? You think what?
I can't think brain blast right now.
Anywho, please try to remember that asking for help is a sign of strength, that recovery is possible, and that no one has to face these struggles alone. Would you like to add anything else before we sign off?
No, not really. I don't have much to add. I'm sorry that I was not helpful in the conversation today, guys. I say, there's more than, 3 of you watching this consistently. And you're all French.
You're not all French. But
you're all French.
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi?
Oh, God.
Ce soir.
Okay.
Bonjour.
Lafayette.
We're not mocking your language. Honestly, if I could learn French, that'd be really cool. I'm closer to Spanish than I am French, though.
I'm German.
No, I'm not Spanish. I know Spanish.
I know a little. Well, no, not really.
9!
Mm-hmm.
On that note, we're going to wrap this up.
That's a wrap, folks.
And we will see you guys next time.